Hey y'all, welcome back. This is Oscar from OG Outdoors. Thank you for checking in to my channel. Today I wanted to share the quilts that I use for backpacking and outdoor adventures. About a year ago I invested in this Hammock gear Econ 30-degree quilt, and I did some research, but I wasn't sure what to expect in terms of how the quilt would function, how I would adapt to using a quilt. So for those who don't know, a sleeping quilt is very similar to a sleeping bag, with the exception that it doesn't have a back. So it doesn't have any type of fabric or insulation that for you to compact. And so you're saving the weight of not having those elements on the sleeping quilt. There's a channel, Justin Outdoors, who I feel has an excellent video on describing the characteristics of a quilt, especially how the down filling is used and what types of fill power provide different types of warmth and allow you to take the quilt into different conditions. So I'm not going to go into too much detail on that, but I just wanted to share the general characteristics of this quilt, which I've been very satisfied with. Like most quilts, you're able to wrap the top around your head. This quilt is long enough that I can sleep with the quilt over my head. However, some people might prefer to have the quilt size so it reaches just below or just at their chin, and that would make the quilt lighter as well. This being a 30-degree quilt, I can still use it in the summertime and late spring. So I can unzip it at the bottom. It's kind of hard to see, but I'll show you some pictures. It has a zipper at the bottom so it can be used like a blanket. So if you're someone who likes to cowboy camp like I do, which means that you're not using a tent or even a tarp, you have to keep in mind that drafts of cold air can enter the quilt through any areas where the down is not fully covering a section, and that did happen to me in the Eastern Sierras at around 40 degrees. I did notice I started to get quite cold because I didn't really have anything to protect me from those drafts coming in through those pockets of that were exposed. And so I think one remedy to that is to use a tent, of course, or a bivy sack. And also just to know the limitations of the quilt. If this is a 30-degree quilt, so if I'm cowboy camping in 30-degree weather, it's very likely that a cold draft is gonna chill me out. All right, so as you can see in the pictures, this hammock gear quilt has vertical baffles running on the top, and then towards the foot box there are horizontal baffles, and that's a pretty standard configuration design being used by a lot of different companies. I haven't really experienced any major issues with that. So yeah, I really like the versatility this quilt, being able to unzip it and open it up like a blanket. I like the weight savings. At around 1 pound, it is significantly lighter than most lightweight sleeping bags. It compresses down and takes up very little space in your pack, which is excellent. The cons are that you have to be careful with moisture and keeping the down dry. But that's really it. I've been very satisfied with the Hammock Gear product, and I have purchased another quilt since then. I forgot to mention that this particular quilt has a pretty common design with vertical baffles running from the head end down to about three quarters of the way down, and then you have horizontal baffles towards the foot box where it zips up. All right, well, let me know if you have any questions or comments. We'd love to hear them, and stay tuned for a review on a UGQ 20-degree quilt that I'm excited to use in the near future. Peace.